Hi, Ash.
Hi, Frank. Congratulations on acquiring Computer Magazine.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Computer Entertainer.
What is it called?
Computer Entertainer.
Oh, okay.
Or if you prefer, the Video Game Update, the original name, before everyone said video games are dead and computers are the future.
When are you publishing new issues?
Never.
All right, well.
We'll see.
We'll see about that.
I've had more than one suggestion that perhaps we should start video game journalism now that we own this name.
You know, I think what you should do, if you do want to restart it, is do it as if it were the month after it were canceled and cover all of the games that were released specifically then and just go chronologically from there.
Yeah, you would definitely not run out of content.
It would be a very dead month. They died right after their CES issue in the middle of the year. So there was just nothing till December. So it'd be a really boring issue.
But then it's build up to an eventual very exciting payoff.
You know what? We could just let AI do it.
We could let AI do it. If not for the fact that I detest that idea. This is episode 402 of Insert Credit, where a panel of video game experts fills just about an hour of your week, punctuated by a horrible buzzer. I'm Alex Jaffe, number 1.
I'm Frank Cifaldi, number 1.
I'm Ash Parrish, number 69.
Nice.
I'm Brandon Sheffield, lucky number 13.
You know what? That all checks out. I'm glad we all have our jersey numbers picked. There might be a little bit of confusion on the field
confusing on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, people won't be able to tell us apart.
Yeah.
Who's on first?
We're on first.
Yeah. We'll have to
Frank
find
and
it out.
Jaffe.
Legally, I think you have to stand on my shoulders.
Right. We have to occupy the same position if we have the same number. That's in the baseball manual.
Yeah, we have to be on the same vertical axis.
Yeah. That's the origin of Master Blaster from that third Mad Max movie. They both picked the same jersey numbers. Like, well, you both got to be there at the same time. And, you know, it's just not ideal for just logistics in baseball. You can do it, but the meta has evolved to the point that if you're going to be a baseball player who stands on another baseball player's shoulders, they figured out through trial and error that there's more con than pro there. That was Abner Doubleday who figured that out in 1898. But I digress. This is a show about video games.
Not baseball.
Did everyone else just dissociate?
I sure did.
My mind left my body completely.
That's what was happening to me, baby. I've got a question here from previous winner Liz Ryerson, who was just on episode 399. Liz asks, here's one off the top of my head. Are there any actually great sewer levels?
Well, Sewer Surfing has that music.
I
Brandon,
immediately went there.
Brandon, I'm afraid you have just lost a credit. The word of the episode was surfing.
You know, I feel like we should.
You can't. No secret words. We're not Pee-wee's Playhouse.
We should change the secret word to be like the danger word or something.
Yeah.
So that I remember that I'm not supposed to say something that you might think I'm going to say, because initially these weren't traps, but now that they're traps, I feel like we need to revise the thinking slightly on them. Anyway, sewer surfing.
Yeah. Liz specifically messaged me, I don't want people to talk about sewer surfing. I'm sick of hearing about sewer surfing.
Yeah, well, too bad, Liz.
Well, I hope you don't listen to our show.
Isn't Battletoads, like, don't they do like a thing where they drive through the sewer? And
yeah, it's extremely bad and everyone hates it.
Is it a sewer?
It's a sewer.
I thought it was, I don't know.
It's not.
Well, it's a tube.
They're in like, if you're talking about like the second level of the third level of the original game, it's just a weird, like, Gradius looking brain space.
What is
a sewer?
What is a sewer if not tubes persevering?
Filled with dirty water.
There is a tube level also,
Yeah.
but there's no implied sewage or sewer systems or anything like that.
I don't know, it's called Turbo Tunnel, and it's got viscera inside it. And it looks like a sewer. Maybe it's not a sewer. Whatever.
To be a sewer implies a sewage system.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe
Second
it's
to
not a
that
sewer.
could be a place for waste to go, right? But I think the implication is that it's underground. I don't think there's a sewer without whatever those like circular tunnels are, that the like the Ninja Turtles live in.
Yeah.
I think that's a New York sewage thing. I don't know.
I think
Jaffe, know.
Yeah, I'm down there all the time. They got the cones, they got the smokestacks.
Ninja Turtle, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I like the bad one in Bullet Witch.
Yeah, I was about to say the Bullet Witch one is fun.
Yeah, it's not good though.
Every
I
week,
like
the
it.
second secret word is Bullet Witch.
Yeah.
No, you're allowed to say Bullet Witch is show neutral.
Nice. Okay, there and so many RPGs start you out in a sewer, but I don't know how many of those are exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that like the level itself is good, but I actually like when going through a sewer takes you to a different part of the map.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like being able to go underground and emerge somewhere else.
I like how the sewer in Bloodborne, at least I think it's a sewer. I think it's a sewer because it's a big round tunnel that goes down that has like water at the bottom of it and it's all cobblestoney. And then you open the door out of, this one tube that goes down and then you suddenly open and it's like the place that's the replica of the hub and it's in the sewer. Do you know what I'm talking about in Bloodborne where the doll is and you find the doll's clothes there and whatever?
Oh, no. You're asking us? Well,
yes, I'm asking you.
Yeah, no, I've never played Bloodborne.
Yeah, same.
No frame of reference.
Really?
How about
Nobody
that
knows?
Mario
Okay, well,
Brothers?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
arguably the entirety of Mario Brothers is a sewer level.
I thought you were asking the audience if they knew what you were talking about because they clearly will.
You are the audience.
So
Right.
I thought it,
Yeah, no. No, we're not.
I mean, in this
don't know
one, okay.
anything.
Yeah. I will staunchly defend myself against being an insert credit audience. I am not.
Frank has never
You
listened to
are
an episode of the show.
my
It's true.
audience.
Yeah,
My
currently
audience.
we are your audience.
Yes.
I like the little weird guy that lives in the sewer in Tulip, but that doesn't mean the sewer itself is a good level. It's just a room, so that doesn't really. There is a sewer area that I enjoyed, and I can't remember what it was in. But it was one of those classic ones where, like, usually I don't like mazes and stuff, but it's one of those ones where you can only go down this way and then you go across to the other zone and there's a ladder and you have to go hit a button and the ladder goes down. Just one of those kinds of little mild puzzly areas.
Mhm.
And it was a sewer and I thought it was pretty good and I can't remember. I think it was an RPG.
I have to shout out the
Not
Northeast
helpful.
Ohio Regional Sewer District because it's one of those social media accounts that are like really cool, kind of like how Nihilist Arby's is, or how Arby's was like a few years ago before all of the brands trying to be cool became annoying. The Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District is still in that cool zone of social media posting, so shout out to you guys. The Superman film was filmed in Cleveland, and there's a shot of like the building that's falling down. That building is not in the city, like where it's shown. And so like the Northeast Ohio region, I don't know if I can even find it. They point to like a little like structure in the bottom of that frame is like, we are here. Even though that very tall building that's about to fall on it is not anywhere near that site. So I don't know. That's the best thing I can think of
That's good
right
stuff.
now.
All
Yes.
right. Okay. When are you personally motivated to replay a narrative-driven single-player game that you've already finished?
Never.
Years later, when I just go, I don't know, that was pretty good. Maybe I should play that again. I mean, it's. I think I do that more often than non-narrative game.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's like a movie to me. It's like, it just has to be long enough that I kind of forgot at least half of it.
What's the grace period? Is it 5 years? 10 years?
I don't think there's a way to put a number on it that applies to every game. I think it's just, how much I remembered it, how much I liked it, how I'm feeling in that moment. I mean, I've had a lot of times where I end up with a comfort classic, even though I mean to play something new, because like something new just reminds me of the comfort classic, and then I go back to it. But I don't think there's a statute of limitations. Well, I think there is. I think there's a minimum of 1 year.
So not too often because I got too many I haven't finished or even started, but sometimes I do, and I think it is similar to Frank when it's been a long time and I remember liking it, but quite often I don't get all the way through it. Like I started to replay Wild Arms a while ago, and I just did the infinite experience glitch to kind of go through it faster, and it still felt really slow and like a slog. And I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't play through this. And I stopped. But yeah, if it's been long enough and if I remember it fondly, I may return. It's a lot easier with an action game than a narrative game, though. That's for sure. But
Very much so.
I'm quite sure that I will return to Indica at some point. Give myself a little time, and I'll probably play that one again, because not only did I like it a lot, it's short, and I'm going to remember that it's short, and maybe I'll feel differently about it in the future. And that's definitely one. And I think like Kudelka, I might play through that again. The narrative isn't important in that game. It is it's technically an RPG. I don't care about the narrative at all, but I enjoyed the vibes of it, and it is also relatively short, like under 10 hours. So that's another one that maybe in another 5 years I'll get back and play through that again.
Ash, what's your perspective on replaying narrative games?
Never. No, I can't retread that kind of content again.
Really?
It's too boring. Yeah, really. Like I like certain games I will do over. So like Final Fantasy VIII maybe. And even then I probably won't finish it. I'll start it. But narrative games, like, no, I already got his story. I won't go back. The only games that I really, really replay are comfort games or like action-based games. So I can play a Sonic over and over and over again because it's a comfort game and an action game. But if it's just like a purely narrative experience,
Well, I guess I wasn't thinking of this as purely narrative, right? Like, and I don't really even know what that means. Come to think of it, like a visual novel or something. But
yeah, but not necessarily, visual novel with like no or very little gameplay elements.
Yeah, I don't want to say RPG, but basically a game with a lot of words.
So, like, I wouldn't replay a JRPG that's very long that Atlas made, for example, that I played recently. Again, because it was very long. But I would, but like a Metal Gear, I wasn't even trying. I was trying to avoid it. But like, I don't consider a Metal Gear Solid in that same category, even though the talking is maybe as much as that game.
No, that's fair. Because there's, a whole other, you don't play it for that. A game where you can enjoy it by skipping the cutscenes, I feel, is not a game that really fits into that category.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid, I'll probably listen to the dialogue that like progresses the story, but I'm not calling people.
Right.
You know?
I might play narrative games again in the attempt, like a BioWare game, in an attempt to like make a new playthrough with different choices.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're a BioWare girlie. That's all about the replay culture.
And then I start the game, and then I make all the same choices because I'm a baby. So
that's another part of being a BioWare person. You play the same game, attempting to, like, with the mindset that I'm going to do an evil playthrough this time or whatever, and you just do the same exact thing, romance the same exact character.
Always carrying on.
Yeah.
I've probably played New Vegas like a dozen times, literally. And so I don't know, is that a narrative game? Because it's an RPG?
think New Vegas counts, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A game with a lot of writing in it. But do you play the same guy each time, Frank? Are your playthroughs different?
Absolutely not, no.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Do I play? You asked two different questions. I was responding to the first one. No, I play differently every time. I look for, I experience something new every time.
That's cool.
That's how it's designed to be. All right. Next question. EA president Laura Meal recently said that at this point, they're unlikely to release The Sims 5, as they're still dedicated to supporting The Sims 4. How do we feel about continuing to update a game instead of releasing a new one?
It really depends on the game.
I mean, yeah.
That works for their business model. Like, we're never going to get a Minecraft 2. Why would we?
I think the Ash, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think the Overwatch folks learned a valuable lesson there.
That's for sure.
Updating Overwatch instead of doing Overwatch 2.
How do you have a sequel to a game that has less features than the first one? Well, more game modes, but you know what I mean. No story content or anything like that. Hey, where's all those story updates we were supposed to be getting, Blizzard? There was that one big story thing that you did, and you guys made it seem like that you were going to create like story packs that you would release at certain intervals. Yeah. And I don't think that ever panned out. And it's been some years since that first one dropped.
My favorite, not to harp on a game that we all love hating, but my favorite thing about the story in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is that it ends with this idea that there are going to be 13 other Brainiacs in 13 other worlds that you have to kill, which, like, the whole thing is building up this idea that there's going to be this whole run of, like, downloadable story content with, like, season after season. It's like, no damn way are we even getting a quarter into this.
To the original question, I think that when people are enjoying it enough, and when there's nothing about the structure of the existing game that prevents you from doing what you as developers want to do, then continuing to update the old game is a good idea. Like the reason to make a sequel is when you've got ambitions that are so far beyond what is capable, what the current game is capable of, and if that is not happening, then whatever.
Or you have a specific type of customer that you are targeting. I mean, I don't actually think, for example, every Madden is just a roster update. LOL. Like, they probably do change things, but like I do think that they are targeting that specific kind of consumer that just kind of casually goes, oh, the new one, and buys it, as opposed to like continues interacting with it. So, that's a reason to continue sequelizing is that there's an expectation of an annual kind of thing. But I do think for, especially live service games that can evolve into, like, I don't know, just think about like No Man's Sky or something like that, right? Like, why would they ever make a sequel to No Man's Sky? Like, that game is a completely different game now than it was, like, I don't know, Final Fantasy 14, right? Like how many iterations of that have there been? Why would you call it something else? It's just a continuous, service thing. And I think the idea of sequelizing stuff like that is from the archaic days of physical media for games, going to the store and going, ooh, it's the new one.
Yeah, two things to that point. One is they could make a sequel to No Man's Sky if somebody owned the Sky. And they had to
this man's Sky.
Yeah. And then, but the Final Fantasy 14 thing is interesting to me because I always thought that Final Fantasy 14 and 11 should not have been numbered. Like, they should. It's so weird for Final Fantasy 14 to be the MMO one. We're just going to keep it going, and then we're going to make 16 and 17 or whatever else. It should be. Like, why is it a numbered one versus just call it, Final Fantasy Online or like it doesn't, it seems like they're splitting their own timeline there somehow by having multiple parallel games going on that are numbered. It's just weird. The act of giving it a number and then making a sequel to it implies that 15 is a sequel to 14 in a way.
Well, I mean, first of all, I think a Final Fantasy player knows that none of them are sequels, right? And second of all, my guttural reaction to you saying Final Fantasy Online is, oh, that's not a real one.
Right. If you don't give it the number, it's skippable. I think a lot of people,
But there are, maybe that's true because they do have so many other Final Fantasies that aren't numbered, but I don't know. It just.
But I think those are side projects. Whereas when they roll out an 11 or a 14, they're like, this is where all of our resources are going.
Yeah, I agree.
Not incorrect as well. Yeah. And to the point of The Sims 4, like Brandon was talking about, like ambition beyond the scope of what, the existing game is. And not to say anything about the developers who are working on The Sims 4, but I don't think there's really that much ambition at EA to fuck with their golden goose any more than they already have.
Right.
Like, at this point, The Sims 4 is a platform the same way Roblox and fucking Minecraft are a platform or Fortnite. You just add content packs on it, and they've got their ecosystem of players who are perfectly happy to create all their user-generated content that EA can potentially get a cut of or whatever, and they can just release all these different kinds of packs and resources that people can buy, and they can just keep that thing going, and they can keep printing money off of it until the technology or whatever ideas they have for a new kind of simulation game eclipse what 4 can do. It doesn't make sense to me, even from a business perspective, to make another one. Like, it just does. Why devote the resources that it would take to make a game that is bigger than The Sims 4 in order to make a sequel off of it when you could just keep updating The Sims 4. I don't
Right.
think that pressure exists for that specific game just yet.
Here's a question for you. Right before we go to the break, how would you design The Sims 5?
Oh, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
How would you justify it?
I really think that I think it would actually be a bad business decision to make a Sims 5. I think
That's not your call, though.
You're not in the business end. You're in the development end.
Okay, I would make it like GTA. I would just be like, okay, it's GTA now.
In what way are you making The Sims into GTA?
Like a GTA clone, except everything is more more efficiently or more fully simulated in the world. You can go into any room and you can see whatever's going on in there, and then you have all of your you got to go to the bathroom and you got your fun meter is low, even though you're running around shooting people. I'm just thinking about how do I, if someone has decided that I have to make a bunch of money and I have to spend a bunch of money to make a bunch of money, I'm going to make EA GTA.
So The Sims 5 would be The Sims 4, but with guns?
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
and you could drive cars.
Attempting to answer this question, like seriously, I'm trying to think, what can a Sims 5 do that The Sims 4 doesn't? And The Sims 4,
Thank you.
in as much as I know, because I don't play that game, is in the home. Like you are designing homes, right? And creating stories with these people in your home. So you would have to expand beyond the home and like do businesses and communities. So what I'm saying is that Sims 4 is actually, or Sims 5 is actually SimCity.
I think that Sims 4 does expand beyond the home. I think your Sims have like, they go to work and stuff like that. I don't.
But do they work in those? Do they actually work in those places?
Enough about the.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that they go to work and that work environment is similar to the home kind of thing. I think they commute stuff like that.
It has they have worlds, so which are like several neighborhoods, and you can like visit other people, and you can walk around your zone. So yeah, it's more. There's like a sandbox type zone as well. So yeah, there's you can get out of there. So it is tough to think of what Sims 5 might need.
Yeah, because where I keep going is something more connected. But I mean, it does seem like they've probably gone through a lot of iterations of at least trying things and ways of connecting people. I think of like, I don't know, like a weird like Keita Takahashi experiment where everyone's kind of playing the same game at the same time. And I don't know if they've done stuff like that, but I think if I were expanding The Sims in some way, it would be not an actual like infinite world and you can literally visit everyone, but it would be something where the things that your Sims do have consequences on an entire Sims ecosystem. I literally don't know what that means, like if your Sim can become the mayor of everyone or something like that. I don't think that actually makes sense, but I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wall.
Yeah, you said Keita Takahashi, and now I have to remember to play to a T because I haven't yet.
Me too. Sims 5, die in the game, you die for real.
That's a good one. That's something they haven't done in The Sims 4 yet.
They haven't done that yet, so
no.
I think that's
I think it would be extra incentive not to like pull up ladders out of pools if it means that when the Sims die, you also die.
Mm-hmm.
I think the real answer is that The Sims 5 is like a Russian bootleg disc of one of the Sims spin-offs on the PlayStation 2.
I want to expand that because we've played a lot with the concept of when you die in the game, you die in real life. But what if when you go to the bathroom in The Sims, you just don't have to go to the bathroom anymore in real life? What if you could eat in The Sims and it's like you had a meal? I think we could just connect all of our functions to The Sims. I am happy to announce here on this show my new partnership with Mark Zuckerberg. We are building a transmedia experience that will transform your life. We call it The Sims 5.
It's very very musky as well, this sort of idea.
Join me in my technological paradise.
If like you ate in a video game that fills you in real life, like That just sounds like terrible. Like, why are you as a human? Like, one of the last like things that you get joy out of as a human when there's like not very many things to get joy out of is eating good food. Like, why would you want to ever farm that out?
That's not all. If you talk to another sim in like Simlish Babel language, it will light up the part of your brain as if you made an actual connection with a human being.
Nice.
Ew.
Yeah.
Finally, we can outsource all the human parts of life.
I can't wait. Why aren't we working on The Sims 5 right now?
It's a good question.
I like that Ash has apparently never run into someone who is like a Soylent person.
I have. Like, I used to work
Ash.
for Tespa.
Yeah.
Like Tespa, one of the things that we did at Tespa, which was Blizzard's like college esport things, is like we gave those fucking college kids tons of Soylent and they went nuts for it. And I thought it was fucking monstrous.
Well, I think it's time to consult our business plan, go back to our technological masters, figure out where we go from here. We'll be right back after a quick break.
I guess Ash is frozen during this restart period.
We got a frozen Ash.
It seems so. Frozen Ash is a very cool name for like a Diablo expansion or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to look that up on Scryfall.
There was I think Cantonese language visual K band called Silver Ash, which that reminded me of.
Are you sure it wasn't Silver Rash? Because that might be like colloidal. Welcome back to Insert Credit. Here's my next question for you all. I am holding the question hole for later in our program, so you just get more Alex Jaffe right now.
Interesting.
What role has playing video games had in your lives for making friends?
I mean, it became my career, and after school, basically all of your friends you meet in work for the most part. So it's had a huge impact.
I want to ask specifically outside the context of work.
0.
I can answer that.
Yeah.
I've met some of the 2 girls that were at my wedding were girls that I had met through Dragon Age Inquisition, and this was before I became a journalist, and they have been my best friends since 2015. We bonded over them BioWare boys, and we have just remained friends ever since, even though like we all 3 of us come from like very different walks of life. So like I don't know what else to say except that it's been extremely influential, at least for me.
Interesting to me that it's a single player game. Was there a community that you found each other in specifically?
Tumblr.
Oh, baby.
Big D.
Yep.
Big, actually, specifically a little
It's a small T. It's a small T. It's a lowercase T.
That's true.
I don't think I can separate it from work because I've been doing Insert Credit since I was 20 years old.
Right.
And like, I guess I met Vincent Diamante, co-founder of Insert Credit, through video games before Insert Credit started.
Right. And that became Insert Credit.
That's one. I got that one. That one's pretty good. But yeah, aside from that, I feel like most of it was work adjacent. Like Frank and I technically weren't working together, but it was because of things we were both trying to work on.
Right.
So it's hard to...
We met because video games, because we were working. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And most of the time that I've met people outside of work that are interested in video games, I don't want to talk to them. And it's not because they're bad. It's because most of the people that want to... When you meet someone, they're like, oh, you work in video games. You play that new Call of Duty? And then it's like, oh, we gotta go.
No, I never get that question. I get, what do you play?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's soccer or something.
Which is very funny for you, Frank, considering you don't play games all that often.
Yeah, I guess what I'm asking is, do you play video games socially, within a social context?
Like if someone asked me, what are you playing right now? It's like, well, last night I played the zany world of miniature golf with Eugene Levy on the CDI.
Yeah. Really
Wait,
good.
I'm not going to say that to a human.
Wait, did you?
Yes.
Yeah, there's CDI Mr. Core, so he's...
Why did you do it with Eugene Levy?
No,
he didn't
play
the title
it with
of the game.
Eugene Levy in real life. The game is called that with Eugene Levy. He's the celebrity star of the game.
Yes, he voices a golf ball.
Yeah.
Okay, there's so much about video games I don't know.
This is not something you should know about, and that's my point.
Yeah. No, Ash was very impressed for a moment because she pictured the star of film and television, Eugene Levy, with his big-ass eyebrows in your house playing a CDI golf game with you.
When we were co-developing Schitt's Creek,
So I have certainly had times where I played video games with friends, specifically Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I played that with a group of friends. However, I already knew all of those friends and would not have played it with randos, no matter, just straight up would not have done it. So I don't know if I think that doesn't count for what we're talking about here.
Give me the literal question again.
I want to know what role playing video games has had in your lives in terms of making friends.
Making friends.
Specifically making friends.
Yeah, that's where it falls apart.
Yeah,
is the making of them.
Yeah, and it has to be outside of work, but I can't separate video games from work. It's impossible.
Yeah. That's right.
Which sounds very sad.
It is. I don't know if I've ever stopped working
either.
In the last 20-something years.
You probably haven't, Brandon, knowing you.
Well, I don't play stuff online. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make online video game friends. I mean, right. I don't know. I
made online video game associates when I was playing free-to-play mobile games and stuff. But then you know what I did? I went and I wrote an article about it. I turned it back into work.
Into content.
I don't know any of those people now.
The spirit of this question is trying to hit at the experiences people have joining a guild in WoW or whatever the equivalent is and making lifelong friends from that. But none of us freaks do that. I mean, I did way back in the day, and it's that's great, but it's I'm not one of those kinds of people. I don't really enjoy playing multiplayer games, to be completely honest with you. I will do it and I will have fun doing it. It is not a sensation that I seek out. And even with MMOs and things like that, I am a person who likes playing together separately. So I will be my very best friend, the one I was telling you about that was at my wedding. We play Final Fantasy 14 together. And what that looked like was she went through all of Endwalker first because she had more time to do it than I did. And then when it was my turn to play through Endwalker, she was on a Discord call with me as I went through it so she could be there when I hit the major story points so she could see my reaction. And I enjoyed that way more than I would have if she and I were together, running a dungeon together. This is not the question for us, I guess, Jaffe, because
no, that
freaks.
Totally counts, though.
I think
nice.
That
absolutely counts.
Except
sharing
that's
that experience.
That's a friend you already made. So it's just the latter part of the question that's thrown us.
Because we don't make friends anymore like that, and we definitely can't separate it from work.
Well, again, like I said at the top of this question, it's after school, you don't really make friends outside of work.
Through work, right.
Yeah. I mean, I will answer the opposite of this question, which is I made a friend at Comic-Con last year. Her name, if you want to look her up, link her in the show notes, Rachel Ignatowski. She does these fun art books. I met her at the show just appreciating her art, and we talked about weird digital art, and she got really into my explanation of analog technology for capturing screenshots. And her and her partner were visiting recently the Bay Area, and I had dinner with my wife. And afterward, my wife Amanda was like, it was so interesting hearing people that you met talk to you just as a person and not as a video game person. She's just not used to meeting people I know that don't know me through my work or whatever. It was just that is just a person I hit it off with. And that's just not a thing that happens to us, I guess, ever.
Now the whole idea of the question is making me really sad in that I don't talk to my friends outside of the context of work.
I'm not sad about it. It's just I just don't.
Time to reassess your relationships.
I know.
I just don't put myself in environments where I meet people because I'm working.
All right.
And I think that's most adults, and I think that's okay.
I get into those situations, but I don't. I'm full up. I don't want to meet any more people.
No more friends.
I think that's what happens.
No new friends.
That's time. We got to get out of here before we start spiraling. Frank, I have a question, I guess, mainly for you. And if you don't want to answer it, we can cut it and I can ask something else instead. because I am genuinely unclear on this, and I know you have a lot of secret enemies, and if this falls in that category, then we don't have to address it. What's the deal with Stop Killing Games?
Okay. Stop Killing Games is a consumer advocacy movement where the complaint is that purchased video games stop functioning if they require server calls. And the ask is that the government get involved to at least in Europe is the initial ask to step in and make it mandatory that game publishers put things in place where players can continue playing the games either through some kind of like, infinite server compatibility, whatever, or like giving people the tools to do it. That is it at its base level as an explanation of what Stop Killing Games is. Specifically, they're seeking European law to make it legally required. But first of all, I am. This is not what we in the archival world would call video game preservation. Like this is a consumer advocacy thing, right? So I am not an expert on this. I am not a consumer advocacy person. I am a historical preservation person. But what I'm kind of seeing is something that feels pretty unrealistic to me. I think at its core, it's flawed in that legally we don't own our content, period. We license the ability to consume it. So the idea that laws would come into effect to completely change that is not something I see within our current system. I think the opposite is what's going to continue happening. I think we will continue to lose ownership of our things more and more. So it feels like it's coming from the right place, but is unrealistic and also when it's kind of dug into and when people who advocate for this are kind of explained that like what you're asking for is a little bit unrealistic. The response tends to be like, well, no, it's just kind of like the start of a conversation. We want to figure this out. But I think that, as nice as it sounds, it's similar to what we run into when we just want to, for example, archive a video game project after its conclusion, which is like, well, there's 300 dependencies in this code. We rely on like all these external services. I can't guarantee that everything in this code is owned by us. I don't have the time to have lawyers go through, our source code that nobody's supposed to see to make sure that there's nothing in here that people aren't supposed to see other than all of it. And it's to me, it just feels like an unrealistic ask that could become a realistic ask in some way. But I think this first attempt at it is not one that I expect to succeed. I have, until this question, avoided talking about it because it tends to elicit a very sort of like guttural Reddit-like response in people.
Yeah.
In terms of like, well, if you don't support this thing, you don't support freedom. You're a jerk, and that's not. I mean, I am a jerk, but.
I've gotten more than one message from listeners asking us like where we stand on this thing. And I was like, I don't see why.
I get an email every week and it's like, I don't
so
know,
do I.
Man. Yeah.
I do too. And I'll say for
nobody
my
bothers
part,
me about it.
For my part, I understand what is at play here. I also, like Frank, think your heart's in the right place. Maybe you're asking the wrong questions and definitely doing the execution wrong, because my understanding is that like if you put a survey and you collect so many authentic, legitimate in the UK, resident signatures, you can bring something before whatever governing body, and whatever happened, they hit that threshold. And then like, okay, we're talking about bringing this petition to these government bodies where all these old people are going to do and look at it and go like, and then toss it out the window. and I don't want anything, not that I don't want anything to do with it, but I really haven't been interested in it because I get all of the ancillary like flack associated with it because there's this weird like YouTuber drama associated with it.
Yeah.
And
that is part of what I was asking about. Yeah.
And then like Elon Musk and Ian Mouse Chong and the wrong people are like getting the attention of it. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, you're radioactive now and I want absolutely nothing to do with you. I'm sorry. That's probably not the intention of the people who created this to be. Like, I understand that you have very worthy goals, but like, I can't do anything. Not that I can't. I just don't want to do anything with you right now because I don't want to touch radioactive YouTuber drama. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't I can't.
All reasonable.
I'm really fortunate in that I can hide behind like, well, we're doing our own advocacy within our own government, that we're very public about. And so good on you folks for doing that over there. I'm covering this part over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had to deal with it because nobody cares what I think about it, thankfully. But it has seemed unrealistic and with spiky bits attached to it that I don't want to touch. But when you think about the average online game, it probably uses a lot of licensed technologies.
Mm-hmm.
Then what do you do with those? Like, is a company on the hook for maintaining those licenses?
I can answer that, which is the argument is, well, give us the code and we'll figure it out. The ask is put some. It's vague and doesn't make sense to me, but it seems to be, well, once you shut down, put something on GitHub that would theoretically enable me to make this work again.
Yeah, and I think that is impossible because in many cases, because if those companies are still going and you give code to like you get you get engine access, code access for Unreal Engine, but you're not allowed to just distribute it. And so how then do you...
and that's what I was saying about dependencies. And again, I think that the answer from, an advocate for this cause would be, well, just give me enough to put that impetus on me to make that legal or not, right? But I think there's a million problems people aren't thinking about. The first one that comes to mind for me is security, right? Like you might be like, you might be opening up game platforms into being broken open with server code and stuff like that. And it's just, there's not a lawyer in the world that's going to be okay with this.
Right.
And they have, lawyers tend to have control over these situations more than consumers. And it's just never going to happen.
Yeah. All right. I had another question, but now I kind of really want to know, what are your FAQs? Like, what are the issues people ask you the most about?
Me?
All three of you.
Oh. The question I get most is, how do I become a video game preservationist? That's your job. How does it become my job?
Right.
And what degree do I get to do what you do? And
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah. How do I get a job in video game preservation? And I have to explain every time that I barely make enough and it took me 9 years to get here. Well, really 20 something years to get here. I had to create it by myself and I can't afford another employee. Outside of me, I can name 2 people in the country whose job it is to do video game preservation. So I don't think there's a path. Sorry.
And are they themselves bootstrapped by themselves?
No, they're employed by the Strong Museum of Play.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Never mind then.
And the Strong Museum of Play is funded by the Kodak Widows Trust. So a very rich person needs to die and establish a trust.
Either you have to build it yourself or a very rich person interested in game preservation needs to die.
And establish a trust.
Yeah.
They have to do the trust part. Don't do the Paul Allen thing. Don't do the Paul Allen thing where you're rich from Microsoft and you open a computer museum, but you just write the checks from your own bank account or whatever, and then you die and your sister goes like, oh, well, I don't need this, and takes it all back. Don't do that. Establish a trust.
Living wills, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question I get most often is how do I be a games journalist? And the answer is
same answer.
Yeah, you can't do that shit no more.
Take a time travel machine back to 2001, baby.
Like, and I never want to discourage, especially young people, because even though there is no like commercial path to do what I do, those voices are still necessary. The thing that I tell people most is just write, just fucking write, whatever,
find a way.
However, put it out there, put it somewhere, put it on a website. It doesn't have to be paid. It can just be on a personal blog. Just write and have it out there and continue to write, and then do something else that pays the bills. Write whatever you feel, read other people's writing that you like and want to, emulate, or people that you trust or people that you look up to, read them, read widely, work on your craft of being a writer, do something else to pay the bills, and maybe eventually you will find an opening that will want to take you. Try to do the freelancing thing, but don't make it like your income. Don't depend on it for your income to pay your bills. Just do that shit sporadically on the side. You will. That's what I did. And hopefully the industry will repair or heal to a point where, we want more new voices, and then you will be perfectly situated to take one of those positions. But right now, God bless you, don't.
And for me, I get a lot of people asking for jobs, which is unfortunate. I don't have those to give. It's never worked either. There's never been a time where someone, because I've had to hire before, of course, and never has there been a time where someone asking me, like, I'm a student, will you hire me, has ever worked. I get a lot of, will you have a meeting with me to discuss this service that I'm selling that I want? A lot of people asking for me for money in a lot of different ways. I don't have it.
It's either can you give me money or how do I make money like you? To which the answers are I can't and I don't.
No one's asking how to make money like me, actually, at all. Every once in a while I get that. Mostly they're asking, can you hire me to make money? This probably the second most common thing I get, which is maybe unusual, is people that I know asking, do you know this person and can you recommend me for this job I'm applying for? And I always do that. I do a lot of it, and I help get a lot of people jobs that way. But the trick is you gotta already know me, and I gotta already know what you can do, and the job that you're applying for has to be relevant. But I do get a lot of those, and I do wind up helping people connect people to jobs, which I do enjoy. Awesome. I like when people get work. I think that's nice. And then I guess the third most common thing is, will you give a comment for this article? And I usually say yes to that. I do a lot of those. You probably get that one too, right, Frank?
I get a ton of those, and it's usually like, can you write my article?
Ouch.
And then I'll put my name on it. It's not literally that, but it's like, can you answer these 10 questions by email? And then I'll connect them together with my own sentences. No.
Yeah.
What do I get out of this? Oh boy, exposure.
I do that because I can put the word demon school in there a bunch. So even if they're asking me to write their article for them, frankly, especially if they're asking me to write their article for them, I'll go ahead and do it. Because
I just can't, I just look at the questions and I do the math in my head, and it's like, okay, this is going to take me like an hour.
Yeah.
What is an hour of our time worth? It's, at least $100. Am I going to get $100 in revenue by doing this? No.
Right.
So,
I have to think about, you don't have exactly this problem, but I have to think about perception of my game as being relevant and in the conversation. And the more times it is out there, or the more times my name is out there, the more, I was quoted by somebody, I don't remember where, but it really went around LinkedIn. And so I got higher ups at Sony and Microsoft texting me being like, oh, I saw you in this, blah, blah, blah. And that is sadly probably the most important thing that can happen to me if I want to get funding in the future, is have these people be like, this guy still relevant. He's still out there. He's talking. He's doing stuff.
It's true, and I need to do more of it for that reason. It's it's
really annoying.
I've gotten that too from I saw you in the San Francisco Chronicle. I was like, people read that.
I guess thinking about this question from that perspective, which I wasn't, I also get a lot of questions like, I think this is interesting. Can you do this thing is happening and I think it's really bad. Can you expose it? Yeah. Expose this or look into this. And a lot of times is just not like it is interesting, but not enough. It doesn't reach a threshold where it is interesting enough for me to pursue it. Sorry, like your YouTuber drama. Yeah, not really. That's not going to move not my personal needle and not the needle for the people who read The Verge. So,
well, also you have to think about how much time is it going to take you to even understand what's going on?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because sometimes it's very much like seeing. I used to get these kinds of pitches when I was a journalist, less so because the internet was not the same way as it is now. But sometimes I would. It's similar to what happens now when you see some people on social media and they're real up in arms about something, and then you just realize it's like 10 layers deep before you find out what they are even talking about.
Yeah.
And you really have to factor your time in to that.
Which is kind of how we ended up here, because that was my experience with the Stop Killing Games conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
With that, I think it's time to go on to our lightning round, which is also our question hole. This week's lightning round was submitted by one of our patrons at patreon.com/insertcredit, where for mere $1 a month, you get access to that forum that lets you submit questions. You get monthly bonus episodes. You get also some other cool surprises as we cook them up. This week's lightning round comes from John Herbrand, who would like to introduce the panel to his favorite game, Mad Men or Kingdom Hearts. The rules are simple. Is this quote that I present to you from the prestige television drama Mad Men, or from the elaborate Japanese role-playing game saga Kingdom Hearts?
I like this game.
The most right wins.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right. Here's our first quote. I want everybody I meet to remember me. Inside people's memories, I can live forever.
Kingdom Hearts.
No, I don't
God,
know.
I'm on the fence.
I am too.
But
I am too.
I'm gonna go Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna say Kingdom Hearts.
I'm gonna say Mad Men.
It's Kingdom Hearts.
Damn it.
That's a point for Brandon and Frank.
All
Number
right.
2. It's a twinge in your heart, far more powerful than memory alone. This device isn't a spaceship. It's a time machine. It goes backwards, forwards. It takes us to a place where we ache to go again.
That's Mad Men.
That's Mad Men.
It sure sounds like Kingdom Hearts, though. Well, we could. I'll say Mad Men too. Why not?
Mad Men.
It's like it's better written. Is the problem? You know, like that. That's the tell.
That might be where it comes down to. Let's see if you still believe that after this next one. Next quote. You deserve as much as I do to be your own person.
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, that's the entire quote? That's not enough.
Oh, that's a tough one.
You deserve as much as I do to be your own person?
That's the one.
I think it's Mad Men.
I think it's Kingdom Hearts.
I also think it's Kingdom Hearts.
It is Kingdom Hearts. Frank has a perfect score so far.
You got okay. So, do you have who is saying these quotes, Alex?
That was not provided to me.
Okay.
Okay.
If
It's
we ever
probably
do this
goofy.
again, yeah,
I'll
we
look
should,
it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell you if it was like Larkseen or Sayx or Marluxia or Sterling
I'm imagining
Cooper.
these all as goofy, by the way.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah, I edit out the
Yuck.
Yuck after every quote.
Well, it gets really confusing because Goofy was in that episode of Mad Men.
That's right. Crossover.
Right. Number 4. I know you're all feeling the darkness here today, but there's no reason to give in. In my heart, I know we cannot be defeated because there is an answer that will open the door.
That's Kingdom Hearts.
Fuck. These are really hard. That's Kingdom Hearts.
I don't know, man. I only watched a few episodes of Mad Men. Maybe this is where my problem is. And I played like 2 hours of Kingdom Hearts. All right. I'll say Mad Men. Why not?
Brandon's right. That one's Mad Men.
Fuck off.
Yeah, because it was better written.
Yeah. That's the one. Next one. The heart may be weak, and sometimes it may even give in. But I've learned that deep down, there's a light that never goes out.
That is Kingdom Hearts.
That's got to be Kingdom Hearts.
That's Kingdom Hearts. The key is they talk about hearts.
Yeah.
Well, it's also
Friendship.
so JRPG positivity.
Yeah.
Like, there's just...
Yeah. Our next one is just dying doesn't make you whole.
Kingdom Hearts.
Mad Men.
I don't know. Dying doesn't make you whole. Shoot.
Gotta commit.
I guess I'll say Kingdom Hearts.
That is incorrect. It is a Mad Men.
All right. Well, fuck
All right,
this,
Ash
I guess.
Ash, didn't you say Mad Men?
Yes, I said Mad. No, I said
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts.
Only Frank said Mad Men.
Oh, I thought Frank said Kingdom Hearts. Okay,
No,
whatever.
Frank said Mad Men.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't either.
This world is just too small.
That's
Kingdom Hearts.
Quote's too small.
Yeah, the quote is too small.
This world is just too small.
Right.
That's Mad Men.
I really, truly have no idea. So I'm going to say Mad Men this time. I don't know.
Ash?
I said Kingdom Hearts.
She said Kingdom Hearts.
It's Kingdom Hearts.
Nice.
That quote's too small. If this happens again, they just can't be that small.
To hold something dear is to let it hold you.
Mad Men.
Mad Men.
I also think Mad Men.
Kingdom Hearts.
God damn it.
Nice. They were talking about a cartoon deer. That's what it was.
Yeah, apparently. Bambi World.
Yeah.
Then one day they get older and you see them do something and you feel that feeling that you were pretending to have. It feels like your heart is going to explode.
I mean, that's
Mad Men.
So
That's Mad Men. Yeah, those Kingdom Hearts games aren't about getting older.
No, they're
Yeah.
not about watching your children grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, if you have a dream, don't wait. Act.
It's a good one.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Mad Men.
That is a Kingdom Hearts, which means Frank with 7 out of 10 is our winner. The insert
I know.
credit
C.
number.
Okay, wait. Hang on.
I thought that one was a Kingdom Hearts one, but I was like, maybe they're trying to get us.
Frank, how much Kingdom Hearts have you played and how much Mad Men have you watched?
Good question.
The entirety of the first game and nothing else, and the first 3 episodes.
That's enough.
That's very good.
Nice.
Considering
Ash, what about you?
I've watched at least 3 Mad Men seasons and I've played at least 3, maybe more when you get into the points and whatever of the Kingdom Hearts games. Like, that's impressive, Frank. Good job.
I watched every episode of Mad Men, and I played all the Kingdom Hearts up until the 3DS one, Dream Drop Distance. That was the one where I was like, this series isn't for me anymore.
I watched close to a full season of Mad Men, I think, and I played a couple hours of the last big Kingdom Hearts, I think, and that's
3?
all. I guess so. Yeah, and I was so confused.
It's a confusing one. You need to have played
listen.
the mobile game to understand what's going on in it.
play the GBA game.
I
It
watched
looks really
2
pretty.
YouTube videos to catch me up for 3, and I'm probably even more confused than you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I tried that too. It didn't work.
That game had like 4 intros. It blew my mind. I was like, okay, the intro's over. Now I can play. Oh, it's another intro. Like it faded to black and then faded up to
It's
another
like
intro.
if all the Sonic comics counted for video games.
Right. If you
continuity or
needed to know
something.
about Knuckles' family tree for the next Sonic adventure.
Yeah.
At the end of this episode, our scores are Ash with 3 credits, Frank with 5 credits, and Brandon with 0 credits.
Just moving backward.
Moving back along.
Wait, how did I
Frank,
get
you
down
want-
to 0?
You lost the credit today for sewer surfing.
Yeah, but why was they down? I was only at 1?
Yeah, you were only at 1.
What did I spend it on?
I think penalties have just been accruing over time.
God darn it.
You keep like
you just
you
spent
gotta
your
stepping into
credits,
all,
Brandon.
Yeah,
It's all these
you keep
traps.
stepping into all the rakes like Sideshow Bob. Frank, do you want to spend any of your credits at this point?
Well, Brandon has like a status effect happening.
Yeah.
Like, because he's
That's
walking, the screen's flashing.
Yeah, I've got
Esker has
greed.
reminded us of the gotcha pulls.
That's true. Does anyone
Yeah.
want to do a gotcha pull at this point?
Sure,
How many
I do.
I have?
You can't, Brandon. You have 5, Frank.
Dadgummit.
I have
Consarn
5.
it.
Okay, yeah. Pull me.
Okay.
Pull me once.
I'll pull you once.
Shame on you.
Yeah. Your options are
Mm-hmm.
bird, fish, or car.
I gotta go bird. I think there's more bird mascots, for example. I think there's birds tend to have more abilities than fish or cars.
I hope you get the most useless bird.
Depends on the car.
Wow.
But yeah.
Damn. Ash, what the hell?
I hope you get like an ostrich.
You have
Why
gotten.
are you mad at me?
Wait, why is an ostrich the most useless bird?
Okay.
They
Your
can kick?
character is Quill, the Rito postman from The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. And that's yours to
Aw.
keep.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Good
it's
for
good
me.
to have a flying character on the roster. You
Knows
never know when that's
delivering.
going to come in handy. At this point, does anyone have anything they'd like to recommend?
Oh, I wasn't prepared for that.
Frank, I would think you would be the most prepared
Yeah,
for that.
no, I was waiting for you to do your one because you got a whole thing that you just did.
Right.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh, sure.
It's weird. I thought we talked about it because this is like a project that like my part was done a month ago. You know what I mean? So
we talked about it pre-show.
Yeah. Okay, that's why. Yeah, I recommend you guys check out Computer Entertainer, which is a newsletter that ran in the 80s that was very obscure until I kind of discovered it like 12 years ago. And long story short, the Video Game History Foundation, the nonprofit that I run, we not only acquired the full run of the magazine, we acquired the rights to it. We own the copyrights. I believe we own the trademark. I'll have to look into that. I don't remember what the agreement said, but we own the magazine. I rescanned the whole thing in really nice quality, and it is free under a Creative Commons license, which means that you kind of own it too. This is the first time that we've acquired and just made something completely free in basically every possible way. But it's a really fascinating newsletter. It was run by two women, which is almost still not a thing in video games. It's
women? No.
Yeah. It is like one of them, I don't remember if we talked about this before, Ash, one of them, her job was she was a record exec at Warner Brothers, and she ran what they called the Black Music label.
I think I remember you vaguely alluding to that. I would love to hear more.
So she managed Prince while having this side hustle.
I remember that. I remember
where
you telling
she
me
had
that.
a monthly video game magazine that reviewed games and did news and stuff. And,
see, even if you're managing Prince, your video game journalism thing has to be a side hustle.
That's right. That's right. That's the lesson. And it is the only consistent like publication that covered console games that kept going through like the crash and what I kind of call the dark ages. So like from 85 to 88, basically no one is consistently talking about console games, which did still exist. The Nintendo Entertainment System launched in that window, for example. But this is basically the only publication that kept going and talking about that stuff. So it is one of the few English language resources that will give you, impressions of games like Super Mario Brothers and Zelda and Metroid and stuff like that when they were new, because no one else really reviewed those things. So gamehistory.org/computer entertainer. Go download all of it and keep it on your hard drive because you're allowed to do that because I said so.
Yeah. The video game Pope has spoken.
So I was watching the movie U.S. Marshals, which I guess is the sequel to The Fugitive.
Yeah.
And the first third of that is pretty cool. The rest of it is fine. But
is the bad guy in that one a two-armed man?
Well, yes.
It's Goro from Mortal Kombat.
Wesley Snipes is in that movie, isn't it?
One.
Yeah. So this is actually my point is that every time this happens to me, every time this thought dawns on me, it is very funny. They're walking around like, we have no idea who this guy is. He's a total ghost. Like, there's no information about him. And I'm like, you have his photo. It's clearly Wesley Snipes. It's just watch a movie.
Yeah.
It's Wesley Snipes, guys. Tommy Lee Jones. It's Wesley Snipes.
Robert Downey Jr. is in that movie too.
RDJ. He's got two arms. Anyway, the other thing is, by the time you listen to this, Demon School's release date will have been announced.
Oh.
And it is September 3rd, 2025.
Wow, that's soon.
Wow.
Pretty soon. And so here's what I need you all to do. If you have streamers that you like, tell them about Demon School if you think they would like it. I am going to try to do like a sign up for streamers of various types, like a declaration of interest type thing, and we'll try to get codes to folks. But if there are particular streamers that you think are big enough to help and would actually be interested, bug them in their streams, like in their actual streams. Don't like email them or whatever, but see if raise the idea to them, because this game needs to do well.
Yeah.
And I need every vector possible to be no.
Yeah, if you know anybody in Hollow Live, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's coming. It's coming real soon. I'm working all the time right now to finish up the last things. Where there'll be a day one patch. There might be another patch after that. I can't guarantee that there won't. But yeah, we're like hustling with localization right down to the wire.
I'm going to suggest something that you're probably going to hate, Brandon.
Oh.
I think that the Insert Credit crew should play Demon School on stream, and you have to watch us play it, but you can't say anything as we mess up. You might hate that idea, but I think that would be very fun.
I kind of like this idea.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, you could ask, as long as you can ask questions if you want to ask questions. And then I can answer those questions.
Ask questions.
Yeah, it would be helpful to have the developer of the game on the stream. But no, you can't. Yeah, you can't guide us unless we ask you.
Yeah, we could do a commentary. Yeah, sure.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, Frank, you don't have to.
I'm gonna also do my recommendation. Go buy some porn. In a manner that is safe and legal for you to do so. Go buy some porn and support some porn creators because they need your help right now. And call Visa and MasterCard and tell them to stop being assholes.
Yeah, what's that easy place to look and see who you should call? There's like a website.
There is, and oh god, I'll have to put it in the show notes for Esper. But there's like a whole
but look for that
big thing where these adult content creators have put together this entire resource list for you can call your payment processors, you can call like your bank, you can call Visa and MasterCard and let them know how you feel about this shit.
Money.
Yeah.
YELLAT.money.
That's awesome. And go buy some porn.
Okay.
And I'm just going to sneak one in real quick that isn't as socially conscious as that, but I like that Naked Gun. I don't know. Like, it was neat to go to that movie and be like, oh, you can just make that still.
See,
you're still allowed to do that.
The problem is Liam Neeson and his.
The problem is Liam Neeson. Yes.
The problem is Liam Neeson. And I'm happy that people are happy about a movie, and I don't want to crap on anybody's stuff. But I had forgotten until Ash reminded me about his thing where he was looking for a black person to kill, and thought that was a good idea to talk about in interviews because he was mad that a black person had sexually assaulted a friend of his. And so he was, for a week, skulking around looking for a black person with the intent to kill them, which is something he decided to admit.
Completely unprompted.
Unprompted. In an interview.
Error. Yeah, just...
So, unfortunately, as much as I would love to watch that movie, it's
don't go watch that movie. Sorry.
I don't want
to go watch that movie.
I have a hard time now seeing him without remembering that he was just... He was there? Like... By the way, I'm racist. He was just like, I'm racist. A black person did something. This means another black person should die.
Has to die.
So yeah.
It's hard to get more racist than that. That's
true.
The most racist thing you could do.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everyone go pirate the Naked Gun.
Yeah. Watch those Naked Gun movies with Leslie Nielsen. O.J. Simpson doesn't get money from that anymore.
Right before watching this, I pirated the original Naked Gun. And pretty good.
Do they hold up?
Still holds up. Yeah, still holds up. I like it.
And speaking of The Fugitive, there's that one where it's like Wrongly Accused or something like that.
Yeah.
And that one's pretty funny too with Leslie Nielsen. And there's a sequence, maybe I mentioned this on the show before even. There's a stupid sequence where he puts a gun like in his back belt.
Yeah.
And then it falls down his pants and he bends over and there's just this huge outline of a gun on his butt. And it is so funny to me. Like I'm a 5-year-old that slid down his pants and he can't get to it because it's on his butt and it's just making this big comical revolver shape on his butt. It's so funny.
My good recommendations all around.
My humor is just like
yeah.
It's between the ages of 5 and 8. That's right. That's my strike zone.
Well, here's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest that if you enjoyed this show, you support us wherever and however you can. You can review us on iTunes or on Spotify or what have you. You can subscribe to us at patreon.com/insertcredit. You can join our community at forums.insertcredit.com. You can support our show by sponsoring it with an advertisement or personal message by writing to me at show at insertcredit.com.
AI nonsense.
No, if you want to write to me with those, you can. I'll just not respond.
Yeah,
just keep doing it. I'll read them. You can watch us on YouTube if you're not doing that by going to youtube.com/insertcreditshow.
And apparently that's where you can get mad at me in the comments.
Yeah.
I found out about
Get mad at Brandon in the comments there.
For saying stupid stuff.
This episode was edited by Esper Quinn with music by Kurt Feldman. I'm Alex Jaffe.
I'm Frank Spaldi.
I'm Ash Parrish.
I'm Brandon Sheffield, saying stupid stuff.
And your game has now been saved. I was really hoping at the top of the show, to the point that I was prepared to award an extra credit, that when I started singing the Daytona USA theme, that at least one of you would join in.
I didn't know what that was.
Oh,
I didn't know what that was.
You gotta go play Daytona USA.
You don't have to play it. You just have to listen to the song from Daytona USA.
Fine, yeah.
It was because I could hear you segueing into something else, but otherwise I would have gone E.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
Well, then you would be at 1 credit right now instead of 0. Here it is. I'm dropping in the chat. Put it on right now, Ash.
Daytona.
Let's go.
Daddy.
Oh my God.
Diddle. I mean, I know. Oh, yeah. Whatever.